Hello class, welcome to the next video lesson. Today we're going to go over two sections. I want to give you the headline for the first one right here, and it is 1-6, comparing and ordering integers. And you can find it in your textbook on page 31. Let's go ahead and begin. First, we need to define what an integer is. Integers are a set of numbers, and this set of numbers includes whole numbers such as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 187, you get the point. Whole numbers, no fractions, no decimals. It also includes their opposites, which means negative numbers. So if you take a whole number and its opposite, like 1, -1, 2, -2, 3, -3, you get the point. It also includes 0. So integers are a set of numbers that include whole numbers, their opposites, and 0. Now, in this section, here's some work that you'll be asked to do. Finding an opposite. So you're going to be told, find the opposite of each number. This is example 1. And let's take a look at A, B, and C. You're told to find the opposite of 5. Well, the opposite of 5 is -5. Okay? The opposite of -17 is +17. The opposite of 47 is -47. So if it's negative, you change it to positive. If it's positive, you change it to negative. That's how easy this is, okay? Let's keep going. No point to spend too much on this. Another topic in this section is called absolute values. They kind of work like opposites, but with a few little special things to them. So an absolute value can look like this. There are these bar lines right here. Make sure that you make them taller than your numbers. You see how mine goes higher and it goes lower than my 3. That helps me know that this isn't a 1, okay? Make sure you do the same. Or else when you're doing your work and you look away for a second and then you forget what you're doing, you're going to forget that that's an absolute value bar and you're going to think it's a 1. So make sure you make them taller, okay? And they go down further. So if you're told to find the absolute value of -3, the answer is 3. Now, if you're told to find the absolute value of any negative number, it's just that positive number, okay? Now, the difference between absolute value and taking the opposite is this. If I have a positive number, it stays positive, okay? So the opposite of 5 is -5, but the absolute value of 5 is +5. Anything that is between the two bars becomes positive. All right, let's move on. Remember, if you have any questions, write them down, and we'll go over this more in class during discussion time. All right, comparing integers. All right, now this is when we're going to use the less than, equal to, or greater than symbols. So if we're told to compare -8 and 3 using less than, equal to, or greater than symbols, we would simply put -8 and 3, leave a gap in between them, and then put whichever symbol belongs there. If they're equal to each other, you put equal. If one's greater than, then you make the mouth always needs to face the greater number. And even though 8 looks bigger than 3, 3 is positive, 8 is negative. If you look at it like money, or even better, look at it like temperature. 3 degrees outside is a lot warmer than -8 degrees. So 3 degrees is warmer. So the mouth on our greater than sign is going to open up towards the 3. So this says -8 is less than 3. Okay? So that's how that works. Now we're going to take a look at the next section. Remember, you can always pause it, and please do write down any questions you might have. The next section for us to go over is adding and subtracting integers. It's taken from section 1.7, and again, you can find this on page 38 in your book. Let's take a look at the first example. So, here we have 7 plus -4. Now, both of these are integers, whole number and an opposite. So, we're told that we need to add these together. Now, some people freak out because they see positive number and a negative number. How does that work? Well, negative and positives, when adding, guys, this works with adding only. You could think of them like an army. They don't like each other, so they line up for battle. Here we have our positives. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 positives. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 negatives. And in this fight, it doesn't matter about tactics or anything. It's just straight brute force. And they kind of fight in a weird way where they kill each other off. So this subtraction and this positive, they kill each other off. 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 So we're left with 3 positives, and that's your answer. 7 plus -4 is +3. So that is the answer. Now down here, we have another example. -8 plus -3. So we line them up for battle. But wait, they're on the same side. They're not going to fight each other. This isn't a skirmish. This is a reinforcements. We have 8 guys lined up, and we have 3 guys in the back adding to reinforcements. So how many do we have now? Well, we have a total of -11. And that is our reinforcements for that side. And it is negative because they're both negative numbers. You add them together, they stay negative, okay? All right, let's look at the next example. So our next example is example 5. And here we have 22 plus -37. Now, when you get to larger numbers, it's not practical to go and make out all the pluses and minuses. So here's something you can do when you have larger numbers. You can just subtract, okay? But you need to keep in mind something. You need to know whether your answer is going to be negative or positive. And here's a good way to check. Take a look at the 2 numbers. Which number looks bigger? Not which number is, because we know the positive number is greater. But which number looks bigger? Well, this -37 looks bigger because it's 37 compared to 22. Now, what value is it? I just said it. It's negative. That means our answer is going to be negative because this is addition. This is how it works out. So it's going to be negative. So if you want, we're going to put my little answer box over here. I don't know what the answer is yet, but I'm just going to put a negative symbol right there because I know my answer is going to be negative. That helps me remember. And now I'm going to just rewrite this problem to find out what number goes in there. So you can rewrite this with the larger number, 37, minus 22, and just get the answer. So 37 minus 22, well, that would be 5 right there, and that would be 1 right there. So I have -15 is my answer. And that is the answer. So when you get with these larger numbers, it's a really good idea to just change it to like a subtraction problem to the side. But you need to look at the original problem to know whether your answer is going to be negative or positive. If the larger number here had been a positive number, then our answer would have been positive. It's very important that you key in on that. Now let's take a look at subtracting. Subtracting with integers, negative and positive numbers. So here we have a little bit of advice. Change subtraction to addition. Now to do this, you're going to have to do something called add the opposite. Okay? This is known as adding the opposite. Okay? So let's, for instance, say, for example 6, we have 4 minus 7. We're going to add the opposite. So instead of leaving it like this, we're going to rewrite it as 4 plus. We change the subtraction to addition, but now that means I need to take the opposite of the second number. So now I have plus -7, okay? So I went from 4 minus 7 to 4 plus -7. These two are actually the same thing. They will get the same answer. And the answer is -3. Let's look at some more examples just to see if we get the hang of it. Here we have -5 minus 11. So we're told to add the opposite. So the first number you do not change. Never change the first number. Understand? Good. So you have -5 plus, we change it to addition. I now need to take the opposite of this. Opposite of -11 is +11. So now I have -5 plus 11. Well, that is equal to 6. Okay? And that's all there is to that. Just remember the rules that we use for addition and change your subtraction to addition. Remember that when you change it, you need to add the opposite. If you have to tell yourself that 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, you need to learn that phrase. When subtracting negative numbers, add the opposite. All right, I hope you guys got that.